My wife got bored with me, so she called her ex to come hang out with her. This is how I exposed her by installing a wiretap. I caught her texting him last Tuesday. Not some random guy, not a coworker with a flirty streak, her ex. The one she swore was ancient history, buried under years of "I'm over it" promises. My wife, Jess, tapping away on her phone, smirking at the screen like I wasn't even in the room. I asked who it was. She said, "Just a friend," and flipped the phone face down on the couch. That's when I knew. 8 years married, and I could still smell the bullshit from a mile away. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I ordered a wiretap off some sketchy site online. Tiny thing, no bigger than a dime, with a mic that could pick up a whisper through a wall. Shipped to my office, so she wouldn't see the package. 2 days later, it was in my hands, cold and black, like a little grenade I could lob into our life. I installed it that night while she was asleep. Slipped it into the vent above the kitchen table, her favorite spot to sit and scroll. Took me 10 minutes, hand shaking the whole time, heart pounding so loud I thought she'd wake up and catch me. She didn't. She just rolled over, muttering something about the dog in her sleep. Next morning, I tested it. Downloaded the app, synced it up, and there it was, her voice, clear as day, humming some tune while she made coffee. I sat at work, earbuds in, listening to her shuffle around. It felt wrong, but I couldn't stop. She didn't say much that day. Just called her mom, complained about the rain, asked about some recipe. I kept waiting for it though. The call. The one I knew was coming. It happened Thursday night. I was at the bar with Mike, pretending to care about his latest breakup story, when the app pinged. Live audio. I excused myself, locked myself in the bathroom stall, and pressed play. Her voice hit first, casual, too casual, like she was forcing it. Then his. Deep, familiar, the kind of tone that sticks in your gut like a bad meal. "Hey, you free this weekend?" he asked. She laughed. Not a nervous laugh, not a polite one. A real one, the kind she hadn't given me in months. "Yeah, he's out of town Saturday. Come over. It'll be chill." I gripped the phone so hard the screen flickered. Out of town. I hadn't told her any plans. She was banking on me being gone, probably already plotting how to nudge me into it. I listened longer. They didn't say much, kept it vague, like they both knew the rules. But I heard the shift in her. The way her words got lighter, quicker, like she was waking up after years of sleepwalking through our life. She was bored with me. That's what it was. I wasn't enough anymore, and he was the fix. I didn't sleep that night. Kept replaying it in my head, his voice mixing with hers, the laugh that wasn't mine to hear. By morning, I had a plan. I'd play along, tell her I was visiting my brother 2 hours away, give her the green light she didn't know I was handing over. Then I'd double back. Not to catch them in the act, not yet. Just to listen. To know. The wiretap was my eyes now, my ears, my way into the truth she'd locked me out of. Saturday came fast. I packed a bag, made a show of it, grumbling about traffic, tossing my keys around like I was annoyed to leave. She didn't even look up from her phone. "Drive safe," she said, flat as ever. I nodded, walked out, and drove 3 blocks before circling back. Parked at the end of the street, hidden behind the neighbor's overgrown hedge. Earbuds in, app open. The house was quiet at first. Just the hum of the fridge, the occasional creak of the floor. Then the doorbell rang. Footsteps. Her footsteps, quick and sharp, like she couldn't wait. The door opened, and there he was. "Hey, stranger," he said, voice dripping with that easy confidence I'd never had. She laughed again, same laugh, same spark. I sat there, hunched in the driver's seat, staring at my phone like it was a live feed of my own gutting. They didn't waste time. Moved to the kitchen, right under the vent. Glasses clinked. Wine, probably. She always drank wine with him, back when I'd see them together before we got married. I'd forgotten that until now. They talked. Not about me, not at first. Just dumb stuff, movies, some bar they used to hit up, a dog he'd gotten since they split. It was worse than I expected. Not because it was loud or obvious, but because it was so normal. So easy. Like I'd never happened. Like 8 years of me didn't even register. I kept listening, jaw tight, waiting for the moment it'd turn into something I could use. Something I could throw back at her. Then it happened. "He's been so distant lately," she said, voice dropping low. "I don't know. It's like he's checked out." Him, meaning me. I almost laughed, bitter, quiet, right there in the car. Checked out? She'd been the one drifting, pulling away, leaving me scrambling to figure out why. He didn't say much back, just a grunt, "Yeah, that sucks." But I heard the opening. She was setting the stage, painting me as the problem so whatever came next wouldn't feel like her fault. I shut the app off. Couldn't take it anymore. Drove to Mike's, crashed on his couch, stared at the ceiling until the sun came up. The wiretap was still running, recording every word. I didn't listen again that night. Didn't need to. I had enough. She'd invited him in, and I'd let her. Now I had to figure out what came next, how deep this went, how far I'd push back. Because this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. I didn't go home Sunday. Stayed at Mike's, told him I'd had a fight with Jess and needed space. He didn't ask much, just handed me a beer and left me to stew. I didn't touch the beer. Kept the app open instead, dipping into the recordings from Saturday night whenever he wasn't around. Her voice with his, looping in my head like a song I couldn't shake. They'd stayed up late. Laughed a lot. At one point, the clinking stopped, and it got quiet, too quiet. I didn't hear anything obvious. No creaking bed or heavy breathing, but the silence was worse. Left me imagining every worst-case scenario, filling in the blanks with shit I couldn't unsee. By Monday, I had a stack of audio files. Hours of them. I listened to pieces at work, hunched over my desk, pretending to type while her words burned through my earbuds. She didn't mention me again after that first jab. It was all about them, old memories, inside jokes, plans to hang out again. He'd said something about a concert next month, and she jumped on it. "We should go," she'd said, like it was nothing. Like I didn't exist. I kept waiting for guilt to creep into her voice. Some sign she knew she was crossing a line. It never came. I went back that night. Couldn't avoid it forever. Walked in, dropped my bag by the door, and she barely looked up from the TV. "How's your brother?" she asked, eyes still on the screen. I said he was fine, kept it short. She nodded, didn't push. The air felt thick, like we were both waiting for the other to crack. I didn't. Went upstairs, showered, lay in bed staring at the ceiling while she stayed downstairs. The wiretap was still in the vent. I checked it, live feed, her flipping channels, muttering about some show. Normal stuff. Too normal. It made me itch. Tuesday, I upped the game. Ordered a second device, this one a camera, small enough to hide in the bookshelf. Got it shipped overnight. Set it up Wednesday morning while she was at yoga. Tucked it between some old paperbacks she never touched, angled toward the couch. Now I had eyes and ears. Felt like a creep doing it, but I was past caring. She'd started this. I was just keeping up. That night, she called him again. I was in the garage, pretending to fix the lawnmower, app running in my pocket. "You free tomorrow?" she asked. He said yeah, Could swing by after work. She told him I'd be late. Another lie. I hadn't said a word about my schedule. She was building her own story now, one where I was the ghost fading out of her life. I listened to the whole call, hands greasy from the mower, stomach twisting. They didn't plan anything big, just hanging out. But I knew what that meant. It wasn't about sex, not yet. It was about her picking him over me, inch by inch. Thursday, I set the trap. Told her I had a meeting that'd run late, might not be home till 9. She didn't even blink, just said, "Okay, don't work too hard," with that flat tone she perfected. I left at 5, drove to the park a mile away, and waited. Camera feed loaded on my phone, wiretap audio synced up. Watched the empty living room for an hour, nothing but the dog sniffing around. Then the doorbell. Her footsteps again, quick, eager. She let him in, and there they were. Her in that green sweater she used to wear for me, him in a leather jacket like some wannabe rock star. They sat on the couch. Close, but not touching. She poured wine, handed him a glass. He leaned back, said something about the place looking different. She shrugged, said she'd been sprucing it up. I zoomed in on the feed, saw the way her hand lingered near his, the way she smiled when he talked. It wasn't loud or obvious, but it was there. That pull. The thing I had lost with her. The audio kicked in clearer now. "You sure he's cool with this?" he asked, voice low. She laughed, sharp, almost mean. "He doesn't even notice me half the time. What's he gonna care?" I froze, staring at the screen. That was her move, blaming me, making it my fault. He didn't argue, just sipped his wine. They kept talking, slipping into that easy rhythm again. I watched for 2 hours. No kissing, no hands wandering, but it didn't matter. The betrayal was in every word, every glance I caught on the grainy feed. I almost drove back then. Almost stormed in, phone in hand, ready to shove it all in her face. But I didn't. Sat there instead, letting it sink in. She wasn't just bored. She was done. And I'd caught it all. Every laugh, every lie, every second she spent rewriting me out of her life. The evidence was piling up, a mountain of it now. I could bury her with it. Question was, did I want to? I shut the phone off, drove to a diner, sat in a booth with cold coffee I didn't drink. Thought about the next step. Confronting her felt too small, too quick. I had the upper hand now, knew more than she'd ever guess. I could wait, let her dig deeper, catch her when it hurt most. Or I could end it, walk away with the proof and never look back. Either way, I wasn't the one fading out. Not anymore. I didn't sleep much after that night in the diner. Kept the feeds running, wiretap, camera, both humming in the background of my life like a second pulse. Friday, I went to work, acted normal, nodded at people's small talk while my phone burned a hole in my pocket. She didn't call him again, not that day. The house was quiet on the live feed, just her moving around, cooking, scrolling on her phone. I watched her from my desk, zoomed in on her face. She looked bored again. Not with him, though. With me, with us, with the life she'd built and was now torching piece by piece. Saturday, I made my move. Told her I was heading out to grab some stuff for the yard, mulch, tools, whatever. She didn't care, just waved me off from the couch. I drove to the hardware store, bought nothing, parked 2 streets over, and waited. The app pinged an hour later. His voice crackled through. "On my way," he said. She told him to hurry, said she'd ordered pizza. I switched to the camera feed, watched her tidy up, fluffing pillows, wiping the counter like she was prepping for a date. My chest tightened, but I kept still. This was it. The last piece I needed. He showed up 20 minutes later. Leather jacket again, carrying a six-pack. She let him in, and they settled on the couch, same spot as before. Pizza box open, cans cracked, some dumb movie playing in the background. I watched it all, every move, every laugh. They didn't touch much, but it was there again, that ease I couldn't fake with her anymore. I listened through the wiretap, caught her saying, "It's nice having you around." He smirked, said, "Better than the alternative, huh?" She didn't answer, just took a bite of pizza. Didn't need to. I got it. I'd had enough. Drove back, slow, letting the anger simmer. Parked in the driveway this time, no hiding. Walked in, bag of mulch in hand like I'd actually gone shopping. They froze when I opened the door. Him on the couch, her standing by the kitchen, mid-step with a plate. I didn't say anything at first. Just dropped the bag, let it thud on the floor. Her eyes darted to him, then me, like she was calculating how to play it. He stood up, casual, said, "Hey man, just stopped by to say hi." I nodded, kept my face blank. She jumped in, voice too high. "Yeah, he was in the neighborhood." I pulled out my phone. Opened the app, hit play on a clip from Thursday. Her voice, clear and sharp. "He doesn't even notice me half the time. What's he gonna care?" It echoed in the room, louder than the TV. Her face went white. His jaw tightened, but he didn't move. I scrolled back further, played Saturday's recording, them laughing, her saying she'd been sprucing things up. Then the camera feed, live, right there on my screen, showing the couch they'd just been on. I held it up, let them see themselves in real time. She stared at it, then me. "What the hell is this?" she said, but it came out weak, like she already knew. I didn't yell. Didn't need to. "You tell me," I said, voice flat. "You invited him here. You lied about me being gone." I just listened. She opened her mouth, closed it. He shifted, grabbed his jacket, muttered something about leaving. I didn't stop him. Door slammed behind him, and it was just us. She tried to flip it. Said I was crazy, that I'd crossed a line, that this was illegal. I cut her off. "You don't get to play victim. You checked out. I just proved it." She glared, arms crossed, but she didn't argue. Couldn't. The evidence was too loud, too real. I tossed the phone on the table, let the feed keep running, her standing there, caught, no way out. I walked upstairs, packed a bag. Not much, just clothes, my laptop, the wiretap stuff. She followed, hovering in the doorway, saying I couldn't leave, that we needed to talk. I didn't look at her. "Talk to him," I said, zipping the bag. "You're better at it." She went quiet. I grabbed my keys, headed out. She didn't stop me, just stood there, arms still crossed, like she was holding herself together. Drove to Mike's again. Crashed on his couch, same as before. He asked what happened. I told him the short version, caught her, showed her, left. He didn't push. Just turned on the game, let me sit there with my thoughts. I didn't feel good about it. Didn't feel bad either. Just empty. The wiretap was off now, camera too. No more listening, no more watching. I had what I needed. She was exposed, and I was out. Next morning, she texted. Said she was sorry, that it wasn't what I thought, that she'd just been lonely. I read it, didn't reply. Kept the recordings, though. Not to use, not yet, just to have. Proof I wasn't the one who broke it. Days passed. Stayed at Mike's, looked for a place, kept moving. She called once. I didn't pick up. Didn't need to hear it. I'd heard enough already. Life's messy now. No big wins, no clean breaks. I've got a new apartment lined up, small, cheap. She's still in the house, probably still seeing him. I don't check anymore. Don't care enough to. The wiretap's in a drawer somewhere, dead battery. I think about it sometimes. How far I went, how much I saw. It doesn't feel like victory. Just feels like the end. And I'm okay with that.